there, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2022. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or even leave a comment, because, all engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your May? Let's talk about the sun first. Where is all of that attention, enhancement, and support going this month? Well, for the first 3 weeks of the month, we've got the sun in Taurus, your second house of earned income, employment, your values, your valuables, your salary. And when we have the sun in our second house, it's a time where we are noticing a lot of atmospheric and environmental transformations going on the job and off the job that are going to be serving to increase the yield of our work or our profits when it comes to bringing in opportunities to generate more wealth, because we are actually getting not only that attention from maybe the clients or the colleagues or the people that matter most or the people that contribute the most to our own personal economy, but we are also finding that we are getting more value for what we contribute to our workforce or to our field. This is a great time because what sets you apart is what's also lifting you up. This is very advantageous, especially when it comes to anything relating to big transactions, negotiations, interviews, or maybe even special requests or appeals you may need to make this month when it comes to taking on new roles or high-yield assignments that may start to really get that money rolling in all the faster. After the 20th, the sun moves on into Gemini, your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, anything to do with your peer group, and even helpful third parties from your community. And with the sun in the third house for the last 10 days of the month or so and going on into June, you are going to want to make sure you are open to receiving assistance from people. Collaborations are going in a very good way for you because with the sun in the third, helpful third parties are not only helping you get your own work done, but even propagating your works, passing things around, really hitting the pavement for you. It's almost like you're getting marketed. This is also a great time for anyone who is looking to think about getting into a space where they want to make a bigger name for themselves, or maybe a creative project or a pursuit that you would like to get some lift off with in your local community. The sun in the third house is also a time where people are showing up to help you speed up development with any kind of long-term or even mid-term goals or agendas that you have that maybe have fallen behind in your life. And having more hands on deck is going to be quite crucial to getting things done on time or ahead of time. Or maybe we didn't know that, but don't worry, the help is here. What about Mars? Well, Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, and obstacle clearing, is in Pisces through the 24th of the month. So this is your 12th house of your past, privacy, the hidden zone, anything relating to, again, old business, or anything with information going on behind the scenes, old narratives, old storylines, and old contacts and connections. With Mars in the 12th house, we often find that there is a time where we may need to go back and do some serious clearing, because this is going to be a month of severe unburdening for you in a good way, whether it's unburdening you from expenses, unburdening you from old obligations, but we may also find that we are doing a lot of cord cutting and tie clipping as well. Sometimes with Mars in the 12th house, it can be a bit of a struggle because not everyone is interested in getting current with their life. And you may find that you are dealing with people that don't want to solve old problems or put old challenges or old narratives to rest, whether this has to do with family, whether this has to do with business or old friends or old relationships, sometimes old financial matters. But the good news as far as this is concerned is that Mars is here backing you up and even returning strong allies from your past that you may have lost touch with to your entourage to help you see this through. After the 24th, Mars moves on into Aries, which is your sign, where Mars will be well into June. And with Mars in the first house, this is a time where you're getting a chance to break out of any kind of containments, confinements, or bust through any kind of obstacles that may be hindering you in the present. This is a time for shattering glass ceilings. Once more, a lot of very helpful people are coming your way. You are not going anything alone this month if you don't want to. In fact, Mars in the first house is going to be drawing in a lot of S-class, BFF quality allies your way, and you may be finding that a lot of problems are getting taken off your hands, or a lot of big to-dos, a lot of big obligations are getting very quickly solved with the expansion of your own group or your own support. This is also going to be a time where you are able to amplify or maybe expand or accelerate any kind of profit or any kind of claim you would like to pull into your own life as it relates to finances. Mars always gives us that touch of overtime experience, and so you may also find that this is a very industrious month from the 24th on as well. Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection, is in your sign for the vast majority of the month, in Aries from the 2nd of May through the 28th of May. When we have the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection in our sign, we get the wild card blessing, right? This is where Venus is contributing this force to all areas of your life at once, not just one particular corner or house of the chart. Venus in your sign is making you a love magnet. So for those of you that have been looking to hit the town, you are looking to maybe start mixing and meeting or mingling with people, you're going to definitely have your hands full. There are going to be plenty of options for you to choose from, and engage with here. This is also a time where a lot of you that are looking to maybe take a relationship down a much more sensual or maybe more pleasurable road are going to find that this is one of the areas of the chart where we can even go on a bit of a sweet honeymoon type of experience or have a very strong honeymoon romantic adventure of a month. This is also boosting that popularity and favor experience that we've kind of teased with the Sun and with Mars already, drawing more help and more allies and more attention onto yourself or anything you would like to boost awareness of. Mercury, the planet of communications, haste and speed and productivity, is in Gemini, direct for the first 10 days of the month, then retrograde here between the 10th and the 22nd, and then from the 22nd of May through June 3rd, Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. So we've got a lot to talk about with Mercury here. Mercury retrograde, we'll save that. Let's talk about Mercury direct first, that first 10 days of the month, because this is key. When we have Mercury in the third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, your peer group, and of course helpful third parties, this is a time where a lot of old attachments and involvements are getting brought up to a quick fruition. This can be very advantageous for those of you that are looking to maybe beat deadlines, if you're looking to score some kind of reputation points or maybe quick financial opportunities, a lot of negotiations, a lot of meetings. All these kinds of things are getting hurried up to be wrapped up during this time. A lot of old promises, a lot of old obligations, a lot of old involvements are also going to be getting cleared by this. We've got Mars in the 12th helping out here, but Mercury in the 3rd is also taking us through a nice wrap-up process with a big payoff. You may also find with Mercury direct in the 3rd house that you are getting a chance to maybe connect with a whole new community either in your field or maybe a creative circle, a whole new neighborhood. You're getting a chance to score a new territory for yourself to call home or to maybe just kind of take on in addition to what you call home. However, with Mercury retrograde between the 10th and the 22nd here, this is going to precipitate a lot of reorganization or the need for a lot of reorganization in your life. Because Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house is also talking about where you need to undo a lot of contracts, a lot of commitments, or a lot of arrangements that you have sustained until this point in order to make room for all of these new goodies that are coming your way the first third of the month. And it can be a little bit complicated because not everyone may have been doing their part to keep up with you and where you are going. After the 22nd, Mercury is retrograde in your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And we've got kind of a double-edged sword. So on the positive, Mercury retrograde in the second house is a great time to score some financial opportunities or financial prospects that we may have missed in the past, things that maybe passed us by or we passed them by. This is also an opportunity for a lot of you to see old roles or old transition opportunities show up, especially if you have been maybe looking backwards at old job prospects or old career paths you wish you could have entertained for whatever reason. However, with Mercury retrograde in Taurus as well, this can be a frustrating time on the job, typically because we are seeing a lot of things gumming up the works. And so you're going to want to practice some patience. Sometimes this can happen where we find out that colleagues and, coworkers are slipping up, a lot of paperwork or communications just not necessarily going where they need to go or going at the rate that they need to. Customers and clients, your base may be kind of weird, kind of flaky, not doing their due diligence, not paying attention to what they need to do. And so you're going to really need to work to be on the ball between the 22nd of May and the 3rd of June. Thank God it's just a short time. Jupiter, the planet of wealth, expansion, novelty, and luck, is also making a move this month, and we have sort of a life cycle shift going on for everyone. Jupiter is entering your sign on May 10th and will remain here through the 28th of October. So a very long transit, and it's not even the longest. It's just sort of a sample size of what's going to come in 2023. And what happens when Jupiter comes into our sign is we get that wealth, expansion, novelty, and luck everywhere. You are becoming not only a good luck magnet, but that wealth focus is boosting a lot of the revenue you are generating for yourself and every income avenue you have, while also spawning new ones. This is also going to be a time where a 12 and 24 year goal and cycle gets brought back to life in your life. So this is going to be a time where introspection may also be necessary. You may be noticing some familiar opportunities or life experiences or thematic trends show up throughout the course of this next few months that take you back to 12 and 24 years ago for you to get a chance to reclaim some glory that maybe you did not have a chance to claim, or take on some opportunities that just were not feasible to commit to at the time. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 16th of the month. And so we have a full moon talking about culminations, transitions, and endings, but it is amplified because it's an eclipse. So instead of a 2-week window of influence, this has a 3-month window of influence. So now we're seeing something where this full moon lunar eclipse is going to be with you until August. This is in the 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, and anything to do with self-employment earnings, your personal business, and yes, of course, a bit of romance, a bit of sensuality. With a full moon in Scorpio, whether it's a lunar eclipse or not, things get very hot, things get very wild, and there is this release of a lot of inhibitions. There is a release of a lot of armor, and all kinds of intimate exchanges are becoming more transparent, a lot more vulnerable, and a lot more adventurous. This is a time where a lot of you Aries people are also going to get a chance to get more experimental with partners, whether they are current partners or if you're available to somebody new. The right compatible intimate matches will be presenting in your life. Or you may also find that this is going to be a time where some personality shifts or personality evolutions are occurring in romance, making things all the more connective, all of the more well bonded. This is also a time where a lot of you are going to be purging some debts. I see a lot of old financial entanglements, a lot of old financial business going away, and there may even be some really good news coming from a partner as far as a transition in their career or financial life that boosts the quality of life for the family during this 3-month period. We have a new moon as well to wrap things up on the 30th of the month. And the new moon is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and initiations. And from the 30th of May through the, 14th, 15th of June, depending on where you live in the world, it's a time zone thing, we have this new moon in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, opening up a brilliant new collaboration for you, connecting you with a very strong work team or creative group, or maybe even a new community of friends and neighbors that are going to give you a powerful launch when it comes to your own sense of social prominence locally. This is also going to be a time where you may find that if you are looking to get something published or even boost your presence in a certain circle or even online, you've got all of that backing with you as well. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.